Good morning from Ho Chi Minh City, also known as Saigon. We got in last night and we're only here for a few days, so we have a pretty packed itinerary. There is a lot to do, a lot to see, and a lot to eat, so we can't wait to get started.
We read that the best intro to the city is on the water, so that is where we're heading first.
If you're new to our channel, thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Chris.
And we're 388 days.
So, first impressions, comparing Hanoi, a big city, to Ho Chi Minh, a big city, we actually have sidewalk, which is amazing.
Another thing about this city is it's super vibrant, a really great high energy, and that could just be the place we're staying. I think we're in the 1st district, right bordering the 3rd district. But we're really enjoying Ho Chi Minh City.
All right, so as usual, we didn't plan as well as we should have, and we got hungry. So we decided to stop off at the Workshop, which is a really cool coffee shop, got a really nice vibe, and they have some snacks. So we just got a little bite to eat and some cool looking drinks that we're about to partake in. Okay, we're all filled up and now ready to get back on track.
So we made it across the pretty busy street to the Bac Dang water taxi station. If I said that wrong, please forgive me. This, from what I understand, is the southernmost pickup station, and we're gonna take it north. So we just got off the water taxi. We're here at the last stop, and we found some papayas in the wild, so to say. We weren't sure what they were at first. A little big to be mangoes, a little small and odd to be coconuts, but there you go, papayas.
All right, let's give you the lowdown on the water taxi, or technically it's called the water bus. So first of all, we read that it's a really good way to get acquainted with the city. However, you have to keep in mind that this is public transportation. It's not designed to be a tourist sightseeing vehicle, so it's not. The seating is inside, and so you don't always have the flexibility of having a good view. There are several seats outside, and my recommendation would be, if you do take this water bus, that you ask for seats 12A through 12I. I and A are basically on the ends and probably give you the best view. We were able to go outside and sit and kind of stand at the back and get some views, but the inside, at least on our way over, was not very good. We had sort of an obstructed view with a tinted window, and it wouldn't have made for very good video footage. Plus, it was very crowded, and there was a tourist group there, so it didn't work as well as I would have expected, or hoped, I guess, for sightseeing and getting a view of the city. Although it did end up that we did get to see some things So overall, I think it was, what, $3?
Yeah.
Was very inexpensive, and it took about 2 hours to conclude. We started at Bac Dang, which is kind of down in the city center, and we cruised up to Lingdang. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. That took about an hour, and then we cruised back down to Bac Dang, which is where we are right now.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I would have to say going up from Bac Dang, I wasn't super impressed. I was inside and it was a little stuffy, but fortunately we were close enough to the front that there was a breeze coming through. But on the way back, much, much better. I don't know if it's because the lighting changed because it's later in the afternoon, but it was much more enjoyable to be out in those 12A through I seats. So if you do this, I think if you have some extra time, it's not bad to do because it totally gives you a different view of the city. And then we went pretty far outside the city. So it's just an interesting way to see Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City. I think it was worth it. Way back was better. What do you think?
Agreed.
Yeah. Now that it's getting dark, we're gonna go over to the Winway walking street and see what we find.
I don't know if it's green or not. Yeah, it's green. So even with the walk sign on, crossing that street is pretty treacherous.
Well, the walking street was a bit of a bust. It looks like they have shut down the entire boulevard to set up something really cool for New Year, which is in a couple of weeks. And right behind me are the cafe apartments, which look to have some cool places in them. Don't know if we'll get there, but it kind of looks neat.
We've made it to the end of the walking street, and this part is open, which is cool. Behind me, we have the Ho Chi Minh statue, and then beyond that, the People's Committee of Ho Chi Minh, which is basically a government building, French colonial style, old city hall. Originally, this day was supposed to conclude around 2 o'clock. Maybe we would get some food. However, things didn't go exactly as planned with our little water bus adventure. So it's now about 6 o'clock, and we haven't eaten anything since our snack earlier in the day. So we're actually pretty hungry now, and I feel like maybe there's some mosquitoes attacking me. So we're gonna go try to find something delicious to eat.
I really just love how the city seems to come alive at night, just with the energy and all the beautiful lights. It really just transforms itself. So this has been quite the day. Our first full day here in Ho Chi Minh City, and we've done quite a lot, and it's been really fun. Really surprised by the city and totally enjoying it. Now it's time to wind down. We're gonna go get some banh mi and then head home for the night.
So I have really been looking forward to coming back to Vietnam and having banh mi. It's so delicious, so budget friendly, and there's this place right down the street from us called Banh Mi 37. Supposedly there are people that line up to order their food, and it looks amazing. Now, we haven't tried it, so we don't know, but I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and get some. Heading back now to our Airbnb, and I am so excited to try this banh mi. It looked so good the way she was grilling it up and preparing it.
We're back in the Airbnb with these great looking banh mi's. We watched her prepare them. She was grilling the meat and everything looks fresh and delicious. So let's give it a try. So flavorful. The meat is juicy. The bread is great. Really delicious. We will definitely go back there again and have a few more of these.
Okay, I am super hungry, and this looks and smells delicious. That is super delicious. The meat is so tender. I don't know what kind of meat it is, but it's amazing. There's cucumber, I think there's some onions, cilantro. It really just pairs well, and this amazing sauce she put on it that I haven't quite had this flavor of banh mi, but it's fantastic. We're definitely going back. After that life-altering banh mi, we headed off to bed, had a great night's sleep, and now we're up semi-early this morning, ready to visit Independence Palace.
So the palace behind me was completed in 1871 by the French government that was here at the time. But you notice that it doesn't really look French or European. That's because in the early 1960s, part of the palace was actually destroyed, and instead of reconstructing it, it was razed and a new building was put up, and the design was by a really well-known Vietnamese architect. We'll insert his name because I won't begin to try to pronounce it because I'll totally butcher it. But he was really well trained and did this version of the palace behind us. And then in the 1970s, it was listed as a historic and important relic for the Vietnamese country and people. The architecture of the building is a really nice balance between traditional Eastern architecture and modern architecture. And right in front of the palace, there's this beautiful oval green lawn that was meant to inspire calm and tranquility and peace. Now you can also see there's scaffolding in front of the building, and that's because they're getting ready to set up for a New Year Tet event.
I really like this open air concept. Everything is open to the outside, and then there are little rooms that you can close off. But essentially, the entire palace is open air, which is really cool.
The palace is actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and especially the rooms you can get into. There's presidential rooms and public rooms, and the architecture, the design, lighting fixtures, furniture, all pretty cool.
I think we've now seen every room in Independence Palace. They even have a bunker, which is pretty cool and quite vast. They only had part of it open, but what we saw was really impressive. We also noticed quite a few people here that are dressed up. Actually, I'd say probably half the people here, if not more, are dressed up in, I guess it's traditional Vietnamese attire, and we didn't really know what that was. It kind of looked like a big Instagram conference when we arrived, but turns out that everyone is taking pictures for the Tet holiday, which is coming up. We're seeing a lot of that here in Vietnam. There's a lot of festivities that are in the works. Unfortunately, we're not going to be here, but we hope to see that wherever we end up, which is to be announced. And yeah, so it's pretty cool to see that all of the construction and people getting ready for a big New Year celebration.
One thing I did notice is most of the people taking photos were young, in their probably late teens, early 20s, which I think is very interesting.
Okay, we need to find some, yes, food. For lunch, we stopped off at this food court that is across from the Imperial Palace. It's definitely kind of catering to Westerners, but we got a nice coconut and banh mi for lunch, so we're going to enjoy. So not the best food we've had, but also not the worst food we had. Next up, we're heading to the Notre Dame Cathedral and the post office. Both two very well-known landmarks that you've probably seen in every other Ho Chi Minh City YouTube video.
I think the universe is telling us we've seen too many cathedrals recently. Our luck, there's scaffolding and it's closed. So you might have to check out the inside in someone else's video.
So if you look closely at the scaffolding, you can actually see that there are vines that have been growing up to the top. It's kind of impressive. I don't know how long the scaffolding has been there, but since we actually can't see Notre Dame Cathedral, we have to look at the vines growing up the front of it.
So the cathedral was a bit of a bust, but it looks like the post office is open, so I'm excited to see this one.
I find it so interesting that so many places we travel, post offices are so iconic. I don't know why that is. They just are. So the afternoon has become progressively warmer and warmer.
Yes.
We thought we'd take a break and have some coconut coffee. Cheers. So we just finished up our coffee and we are heading over to the Ben Thanh Market, which is sort of the main market here in Ho Chi Minh City. Obviously a very touristy place. We're going to all the touristy places, so come along with us.
It's always interesting to go into a new local market. Some very colorful things, some very interesting things, you know. Who knows when you ever need a bat. But it's always nice to see, and sometimes it makes me wish I had some little bit more room in my suitcase.
All right, a lot of walking today. We are super warm, sweaty, and our legs are a little tired. So it's time to take a break and maybe even call it a day.
Maybe. We're starting our day off here at Turtle Lake, and then we're gonna go to the Ho Chi Minh City History Museum, which I think will be pretty interesting.
And if you notice behind us, you'll see a number of people that are posing in all sorts of extraordinary outfits. That is for Tet, which is the upcoming Lunar New Year celebration, and there's a lot of activity in the city revolving around Tet. Now we're here on our third day, and just a couple of observations that I've made. One is that I was a little surprised the city seems to be very walkable. There's a lot of space on the sidewalks. Now it's very warm, so I guess it's debatable about how walkable it is in the middle of the day, but I've seen a lot of people out, and it's very easy to navigate around as long as you can cross the streets with the scooters and you're not afraid to do that. We've actually been walking almost everywhere, and it's been great. The other thing is, it's very high energy, and I love it. Especially in the evening, people come out. That's when the city seems to light up and things start to happen. And it's really fun to just go out and people watch, see all the scooters going by. We're loving it here. And of course, the food is amazing. The food is always amazing in Vietnam, but we're really enjoying the food here as well. So let's head over to the museum.
The museum traces the history of Vietnam from prehistoric times through 1945 with the end of the Nguyen dynasty. We've learned from our travels that there are many ethnic groups in Vietnam, and this museum has highlighted a few from the south. Some of the beautiful objects are of daily implements, death ritual items, and musical instruments. The display of Buddha statues from all over Asia is quite impressive. It includes pieces from China, India, Japan, and Nepal. As Buddhism spread, it integrated with local beliefs, and this can be seen by the subtle and not so subtle variations in their religious sculptures. There is also a gallery of beautiful statues from the Champa Kingdom and unbelievable 1,600-year-old wooden Buddha statues from the Ok Eo culture. Surprisingly, there was also a gallery featuring Khmer statues from Cambodia.
So it's a Saturday night in Ho Chi Minh City, and as you can see, there is a ton of energy out here. People are out. It's much cooler than it is during the day, and we are going to take advantage of that and go out to a street where there is apparently some amazing street food. Let's go.
We just arrived on Win Tong Yen Street, and you can see it is quite lively. Walking will be kind of an adventure because there's no real sidewalks, but we're kind of used to that now. But let's go see what we can find to eat.
So we're here at Nam Quan, and this place is super lively, and I'm guessing that it's just starting to get lively because the night is pretty young here. They have a special noodle here. It's called Kutiu Nam Vang, which is a specialty, I guess. I read about this place online, and I said, Stephanie, we have to go here. So we're here. We got some noodles, and we got some drinks, and we're going to enjoy our very lively dinner. So Stephanie got dry noodles and I got a noodle soup. This looks so good, and we're pretty hungry from walking all day, so we're gonna just dig in and enjoy this food.
So far, it's absolutely delicious. The broth is slightly sweet but not sugary, and the passion fruit juice that I got is nice and tangy.
Yeah, Stephanie's right. The broth is a little sweet and very unique, really delicious because it's not super sweet, still savory, really, really well balanced. And I've never eaten anything quite like this noodle soup, but it's very good. We have shrimp, heart, liver, lean, I guess that just means meat, quail egg, and what else? Minced. It's all pretty good. That was so good. Wow, I am so stuffed. Definitely, this is a much more local experience, and I'm really glad we decided to take a grab and come out here and experience it. In fact, I kind of want to come back, but we'll see if we have time. So after dinner, we are super stuffed. So we decided we're going to walk back to our Airbnb. It's maybe a 20-minute walk. And as you can see, the pace of life here is amazing. There's so much energy. So many motorbikes, super fun, and it's also nice and cool out now, so we're not boiling hot. Sometimes during rush hour, the sidewalks become part of the road, so you have to watch out. So the other day we visited the Ben Tam market, which is the very well-known touristy large market, and it's pretty high pressure.
Hello, buy something.
We've traveled a little bit north, up towards the northern part of District 1, and we're gonna walk through a few of the local markets up here and see what we can see, maybe get a different vibe, a different experience. It's quiet, almost like a library. I always get a little intimidated by these markets because nobody speaks English, and it's a very, very unfamiliar experience for someone like myself. But it's always fun to go through because you can say hello to people, smile, and we were able to get some oranges using Google Translate, which is awesome, and they look really good.
Yeah.
And honestly, we were having a hard time finding fruit, so this is a perfect opportunity for us to get something ripe and delicious that we're going to enjoy.
Yep.
All right, time to move on now.
So it gets pretty warm here during the day, and we were walking up and down the market street, seeing some kind of cool stuff. And we got a little thirsty and hot and decided to sit down in one of the local places, and Chris got a coconut, I got some tea, and now we're just gonna sit and watch the world go by.
We walked around and walked around and walked around trying to find a place to eat. Finally decided to take a grab and go a bit south to a place that seems like it's very well respected and popular. It serves, I'm gonna butcher this, bun tit nyang, which is like noodles and beef. It looks really good. We're pretty hungry. Can't wait to start digging into this. Hopefully it's going to be here really quickly, which I think it should be. In true Stephanie and Chris fashion, we are already planning dinner and we haven't even eaten lunch.
When we lived in Southern California, we were really fortunate to have access to a lot of really, really good Vietnamese food, and it set the bar pretty high. And we have not been disappointed to come to Vietnam and taste actually maybe more authentic food that hasn't been tailored to an American palate. And what I ordered today is something I used to get all the time, and I am so looking forward to it. Give it a taste. Woo. Oh, that's some good grilled meat and egg roll and noodles. Very happy.
This dish tastes so fresh. It's like the fresh vegetables and greens mixed with I guess these are rice noodles. So good and cooling and refreshing. After lunch, we did a few errands, but we're not going to bore you with those errands. We did pick up some arm covers from Uniqlo for the sun, which I think are going to come in handy as we're traveling in Southeast Asia for almost the entire year. And of course, now we've stopped off for our afternoon coffee, this time at, I think it's Katnat. I don't know how you pronounce the name of it. It's a pretty big chain here, and it's very busy today on a Sunday. Kind of cool to see everybody out enjoying the weekend. And now we're going to enjoy our teas that we purchased.
So I ordered a pineapple tamarind oolong tea, and apparently it comes with snacks on top too. So this will be interesting to try. Oh, that's really tasty. It's very fruity. You can really taste the pineapple, and the tamarind is like really subtle, but it's really, really nice. So, and now I know why they gave us a spoon. It's for the snacks on top, the cashews. We're coming to the end of our time here in Ho Chi Minh City, and we've really enjoyed it. We had some really great food, and it is such a huge city. I didn't realize quite how big it was, and I definitely think we should come back and do some more exploring.
Yeah, I feel like we've explored a fraction of the city, but what we did explore was truly amazing.
Yeah.
We really had a great time, and I definitely agree we should come back. If you liked our video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And we'll see you in the next one.